do they do it? Why do they do it? Riding and crashing and winning and always faster and faster and faster.
Well, welcome back everybody to With Anto MotoGP 2025. And exciting news, we're back. We're back from the mid-season break and we're heading to the Austria RedBull Ring, round 13 of the MotoGP 2025 World Championship. And more money coming into the sport. We can start off with some news and rumours. 13 million being spent on the RedBull Ring. They're expanding the pit box area, building a brand new medical centre. It's all about growth, and I think it's all driven by Formula One, but it's more money, and it's more money with the word liberty associated to it. And the independent teams, well, they're not happy. We talked about this with the alliance group they put together. They want to be treated equally and treated as the same as the factory teams. So basically, no factory, no satellite breakdown. What they're seeking is equal status as a team. Okay, we move into the second part of the 2025 season. So there's 10 rounds to go, 37 points maximum per round. So there's 370 points that you can score in the second half of this year. Marc Marquez is on 381 already. Okay, what's happening over in Yamaha? We hopefully get an announcement this weekend. The hot rumour is that Rins is out and maybe Jack Miller stays on and maybe goes into the factory monster team. Now, Rins is on a 1.8 million euro contract. He would have to be paid out of that. Now, that's big money for Yamaha. I'm not too sure if that's going to happen. And it's a big second half of the season for Honda and Yamaha. Two reasons. Honda have really got to start to make up some time. All this work on aero. We're going to see some new updates and some new fairings and possible ground effects this weekend. And of course, with the Yamaha, it's all about engine. Quartararo's always complaining about the engine. So he's looking at a test in Misano after the Misano round in a couple of weeks. And he's looking for the opportunity to be able to, as he says, brake with both wheels on the ground. The other one I want to talk about is Marc Marquez and the bonuses he's earned this year. With all the wins he's had, it's around about 1.7 million euros in bonuses. He's on around 10 million euro a season. But you know what? Here's an interesting fact. Since MotoGP's return to the RedBull Ring in 2016, Marc Marquez, number 93, has never stood on top of the box. So yeah, he's never won at this circuit. So what does that mean? It means that there's going to be some interesting Ducati dominance this weekend. Now, Marc Marquez is about breaking records. If we look at 16, been Ducati mainly. Bagnaia last year from Martin and Bastianini, year before Bagnaia, and the year before Bagnaia. And there's been a couple of good performances from KTM there. Maverick Vinales back on the KTM. And KTM did actually win there in 21 and 2020. Brad Binder in 21 and Oliveira in 22. But you know what? The other stat that I have to throw out there is that there's no Japanese bikes have won at the circuit. Marc Marquez ran it really close one year there. But since 16, there's been no Japanese winner. So what's going on there? You know, I also think we're going to see something exciting from Jorge Martin this weekend. Jorge Martin, I think he's back on the bike. He's on the so-called second best bike, everyone's saying. If you listen to Rivola, how great the work has been done. And the bike's going pretty well. So I think he's going to start to change his view. Remember at the start of the season, he said he wasn't going to try to win the championship this year. He's not winning it this year. But I think this slowly approach is going to be there. But I expect some big things for him. And I expect to see him running in the top 3 or 4. Otherwise, it's going to be Ducati. I can't go past Marc Marquez. I think he will break his record. I think he will put it on top of the box. I think Alex Marquez is a little bit more recovered now from his injury. I think he'll go very well. Bagnaia, it's an interesting second half for Mr. Go Free. He's really now making these statements. It's Alex Marquez I've got to compete to. My tip, Marquez brothers 1 and 2. And third place, I think maybe it's going to be Bezzecchi. Let's go for Bezzecchi. Aprilia have done all right there. 7th in 24, 6th in 22, I think it was. So let's see how we go. Anyway, what do you think about these independent teams and their wish to be the team? And what about this ongoing rumour with Jack Miller, Alex Rins and contracts, and your tip for the second half of the season? Anyway, welcome back. It's great to be back at the races. Looking forward to this weekend. Drop your thoughts down below, and if you're enjoying the content, give it a thumbs up. Okay, bye for now.